Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are 5 days away from presidential and legislative elections here in Haiti, and we thought this would be a good opportunity to affirm our support for the Haitian people's right to participate in free, fair, and transparent elections on November 28th.
Haiti's 2010 elections took place on the 28th of November. The elections were fatally flawed from the outset, with nearly 1 million still displaced by a devastating quake, and one of the country's most prominent political parties, Famille Lavalas, prohibited from running in the elections. A mere 23% of those registered to vote cast their ballot. On election day, a majority of candidates held a press conference calling for the elections to be cancelled due to widespread disorganisation. Chaos ensued. Voter intimidation was rife, voting centres were destroyed, and large numbers of ballots went missing. Almost 13% of votes never reached the Electoral Council. The official results had former First Lady Mirlande Manigat headed into a runoff against Jude Celestin, the chosen successor of President René Préval. In third place was a popular musician, Michel Martelly. The margin separating him from the runoff, however, was merely 0.7% of the vote. The US Embassy immediately questioned the results. The UN convinced Martelly and Manigat to drop their calls for the elections to be cancelled. The OAS was called in to help resolve the electoral dispute. The organisation's first task was to create an expert electoral verification team. Of the 7 members chosen to make up the team, 6 came from the United States, France and Canada, 3 countries that had acted together for decades to exert influence over Haiti, including in the ouster of President Jean-Bertrand Aristide in 2004. Aristide was flown out on a US plane to an unknown destination in what he called a kidnapping in the service of a coup d'etat. The composition of the OAS expert verification team was the first sign of trouble.
Indeed, Eamon, on the 20th of November 2010, I did call for the cancellation of the election, and I think that's what should have been done because the process was so flawed, it was difficult to fix it. And it's also kind of paradoxical that the OAS was the first body, international body, to come out and said the election was fine through its spokesperson, Colin Grinderson, in Port-au-Prince. And then that same OAS came back later on to fix what was wrong with the election. So it's a game, it's a nasty game, and we don't think the Haitian people deserve that. The election should have been scrapped and new elections called for to enable the Haitian people's voices to be heard.
CEPA's 2011 reports on the Haitian elections show that rather than recommending voiding the entire elections, conducting a revote in selected areas, or conducting a nationwide revote, the OAS recommended throwing out selected ballots for technical reasons. Their goal was to ensure that Jude Celestin was eliminated from the presidential race, and the verification mission adopted whatever strategies necessary to replace Celestin in the runoff with Martelly.
The United States government, using the OAS as a political instrument, forced the government of Haiti to change the results of the first round of the election, eliminating the government's candidate and leaving 2 right-wing candidates in the race, candidates who combined got about 11% of the registered voters to vote for them.
The Haitian government initially resisted implementing the flawed OAS recommendations. However, the US and other donor countries threatened to withhold post-quake relief if the government did not change the results of the election. In January 2011, then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton travelled to Haiti to personally push Préval into accepting. The Haitian government relented and agreed to remove Celestin from the planned runoff. So why did the US, France and other allies want Préval and his candidates out? The US government had distrusted President Préval since before 2009, and was already hard at work behind the scenes to prevent Haiti's ascension to the Petrocaribe program. Petrocaribe is an oil alliance established by the late Venezuelan Hugo Chavez, offering member states oil at discounted rates. After the earthquake, it was Preval who took the blame for the slow pace of the reconstruction. In other words, Preval had become the main impediment to international plans. Ricardo Seitenfus, the special representative of the OAS in Haiti at the time, revealed that donors had met on the day of the election and offered a plane to fly Preval out of the country. Seitenfus alleged that the actions of the so-called core group of donor countries constituted a silent coup against René Preval in the elections of 2010. This was an effort that included eliminating his potential successor, Jude Celestin, from the presidential race. Seitenfus spoke out against the behaviour of the OAS, the US, and other powerful governments and organisations. He subsequently published a book on international interference in the 2010 elections and the mismanagement of the post-earthquake reconstruction efforts. In this book, he claims that the very governments that were present in Haiti to rebuild the country were acting to undermine Haiti's fragile democracy and further destroy its institutions.
No, de hecho son los estados, ¿no? Estados Unidos, Canadá, Francia, los más influyentes que tomaron esta decisión.
Lo tomaron.
Sí.
Detrás de esto estaban ellos.
Sí, claro. Porque 7.
Despite its flawed analysis, the government adopted the OAS recommendations, placing Martelly into the runoff election. In March 2011, Martelly won the runoff with 67.6% of the vote. But voter participation reached a historic low. Martelly became president with the votes of just 17% of eligible voters. Martelly left office without completing elections to find a successor. After a period of transitional governance, Martelly's chosen candidate did eventually secure the presidency, but he too has faced questions over his legitimacy. The credibility of the OAS and other international actors in Haiti has suffered a lasting blow. Today, Haiti is confronting a new political crisis. Its roots can be traced back to the foreign electoral intervention 10 years ago.